Guys, this is an overview of our racer play. Um, so the basic of this offensive set is we're in a 2-3-1. So the orange here is on offense and the blue are on defense. The middies are set up in a triangle in part of the 2-3-1. So we got two middies up top, the middie in the middle on the crease, and then the two wingmen attackmen on the sides, and then attackman at X. Um, so the basics of this play are we need to move the ball down and get it down to attack or get it down to the attackman. As soon as the guys down at attack have the ball, they'll try to make some space, V-cut. Their defender's probably going to be more on them. And then what we're starting here as soon as they have that is we're starting our cuts. So what the middies are going to be doing here is going up to the blue line, finding space between the middle of the field and the far side and cutting down and looking for it. If they're covered really well, then the attackman isn't going to be doing anything. But basically, the main idea here is a rotation. So you see, as this guy comes down, this middie needs to come up, and then this guy needs to fill. So they're really kind of filling that box. It's kind of like a basic motion. Or a 2-3-1 motion, but it's really just the top, and they're continuing to rotate. So the middie comes down, he didn't get the ball, it wasn't open. It's important for this other middie to at least come to the middle of the field and cut from here. You don't want to be cutting from the far side, so that you need to kind of sag over and fill that space, and then cut anywhere here. The key is that if you can cut from here and come right into the goal. The second aspect of this is that the attackman is going to be, he can be moving and working back and forth on the back here, but he's looking for these cutters. And anytime, so if he's moving, if he's moving down here, his defender's over here trying to protect him. He's looking for that cut down the middle here and the feed inside. It's really important that as this guy is cutting down, and the guy who just previously cut, that he moves through the hole and either stays on the back side here until the other guy moves up, and then as he's going over, then he wants to fill up here. Okay. So you're trying to keep your space in the triangle and fill on the back side, and what we're trying to do is draw these three defenders here off and try to find spaces or try to find the looks that where they're leaving open spaces. So sometimes what will happen is that these middies will rotate, and so let's go ahead and rotate them one more time. So this guy's cutting down, okay, his middie follows him, this middie comes off like this, okay, he's in here. And then what happens is this guy is kind of just watching the ball here. And what happens is after this cut, this guy is coming over and filling, and his guy has a little bit of lag. He's a little bit out here. And so this guy's coming up. He's coming up here. This guy's coming through. And what happens is that this middie right here gets a little bit of an edge on his guy here, and he gets caught off guard, and he's got a free pass to him. And even if he's tight on him right here, this guy's got a free pass to this guy cutting in as this guy comes through, and he's just barely got a leg on him, and we've got that, we've got that that drive in the middle. So that's the look we're looking for. Another thing I want to make sure you guys take a look at is when we're doing this, we want to have the attackman feeding the ball up to our cutters on the right. So for the most part, most of our guys are all right-handed midfielders, so they're gonna be cutting on the right side. So we're gonna focus on this right side. So we call racer. It's always gonna be from the right side. You can feed. We can have the ball down here at attack, and if his defender is playing really tight on him and he can't feed the ball, it's okay to be moving on an arc up and down here, right? You can call a 180. The attackman down here at X can set a pick for him, or he can move the ball down to the other attackman who maybe his defender isn't playing him really hard. And then he can either feed from here. He can do the same thing, same cuts can be coming through, and you can feed from here, because his defender's now going to come out here, right? So you can be working on an arc here as well, and you want to make sure that these attackmen on the wing are staying out of his way, right? So you want to draw your defender. See, if I draw my defender out here, this guy's probably going to come out more towards here. You don't want to be staying right here while he's trying to feed, because guess what? He's got kind of a double in between here, so you're blocking it. So the key is either to come through, bring this attackman through, bring your defender, and now this attackman is free to do an arc over here. Okay? So the attackmen have a really important job here, feeding the ball and trying to bring their defender out of the way. Any of these three attackmen can feed the ball. Okay? So if you have to move the ball and try to get it out, maybe we have a mismatch right here, then we can do that too. It's all three of these guys can move through. Just remember, if you do have the ball, or if you don't have the ball in your attackman, you don't want to bring your defender over to block him from doing the feeds, okay? And then, so if the play goes well and we get those feeds and we get a shot, that's great. The other thing to keep in mind here is that if you, and this is a little bit advanced, if you're feeding the ball high, so if this guy's cutting in and you feed the ball up while he's coming up really high here and we miss, that ball comes up here, it's a ground ball, we might have a fast break. So we want to be careful about feeding it too high and missing, but we also don't want to feed it too close into the goal where the guy's right near the goalie and he's just going to get it intercepted, right? So somewhere in here is a good spot. And that's another reason why I like that we always have to have another midi up top. This midi, these backside, these guys that are finishing up, they need to get up and then get up to the middle and wait, because if we do drop the ball, we have a midi in position to try to help slow the fast break coming up the other way.